Draymond Green stole headlines in Game 2 with his aggressive play against the Celtics. Here's Draymond speaking just moments ago about his mindset heading into Game 3 tomorrow night.
When I looked back at Game 1, when I watched the film, and even just how I felt, I just didn't think they felt us enough. And you can't get to this stage, to this level, and the reason you lose is because a team didn't feel you.
Don't get caught up in that. Just do what we do best. We ain't got time for that. So, just come out and play basketball and, let everything else take care of itself. Like, I'm going to come out and do my job. Everybody needs to come out and do their job. We're here to play basketball. Don't get caught up in all the antics and stuff like that. So just come out and play.
CJ, I listened to Draymond especially, and this whole Warriors team, in 15 and 16, they were feeling themselves, but they were young and figuring it out still. Right. Now this is like a team of old Jedis or something, right? The way Draymond talks to me, I think that's right. This idea they didn't feel us. He took the pulse of the team and realized they need to feel us. Do you agree with that sentiment? Is he being wily and cagey here? And how should the Celtics handle it?
No, I think he's being his normal self. First and foremost, he wanted to make sure he established a presence out there on the floor, and it started with the very first possession. Al Horford was very comfortable in Game 1. He did whatever he wanted. He hit open shots. He got to line the ball up, seam the ball up. He was super comfortable. On the very first possession of Game 2, Draymond pressures the ball, gets a tie-up, forces a jump ball. He set the tone for the team, and I think they follow his lead. He's the energizer. He's the motor of the team in terms of energy, communication. I always say it, for good or for bad. He's going to be communicating. He's going to get into you, and he's going to challenge you. And I think he set the precedent for how the game should have been played.
But you don't think there's, to me, he seems like a high IQ player, right? But also just knowing what the team needs and when it needs it. In 2016, LeBron was able to bait him, right? Oh, one more T and he's and this time it just felt to me like Draymond has a better sense of how to agitate without crossing the line, or am I just making that up in my own head?
No, you're not making that up. I mean, you can see the video here. Obviously, he's learned from his mistakes, and it cost him a championship, essentially. They probably don't lose being up 3-1 with a chance to go home and win in front of their fans. I think he's learned. He's obviously going to continue to protest and yell at referees and push that line, but he understands that he's the key to this championship. If he's not out there, they're not winning a championship.
CJ, I've been on Steph for his play in the finals compared to his play in the regular season. Regular season, one of the, 5 or 10 greatest players you ever saw in your life. Finals, still a good player, but not the same level. But in Game 2, he rose to the occasion in a must-have game in the second half. Is that something new for him in the finals? Or again, did he show you something new in the finals in that second half of that must-win game?
He showed me something, but it's something that I've already seen in the regular season. I've seen him perform in clutch situations and clutch moments. I think, obviously, past teams were set up differently. He didn't have to do as much. Obviously, they had Kevin Durant for 2 championships. They didn't have him for 1. And he had a well-rounded team around him in which he didn't have to carry the load. It was share the sugar, 0.5 mentality. In Game 2, they ran high pick and roll. He got downhill. He finished around the basket. He hit threes. He was super, super aggressive. He scored 29 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists in 32 minutes, sat out the whole fourth quarter, towel over his head, legs crossed, super comfortable. I think he's an MVP lock, finals lock, if they win this series based on his production, based on how well he's been playing. And I like his three-point attempts, right? 14 in one game, 11 in another game, super efficient, super effective. And JJ talked about it, 1.7 points per possession in pick and rolls in which they're in a drop. Boston will not be in a drop.
No.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, you know what our strategy is going to be? We're going to give Steph some space to shoot. That'll be the thing to do.
Insane mentality, but I think they felt it out. The first game is a fill-out process. Magic Johnson talked about it. You kind of fill it out. You try to get one if you can. You go back home with a chance to protect your home court if you're the Boston Celtics. You change up coverages. You throw a lot of different things at him and hope for the best.
So you say whatever you want. He had 34 in Game 1, but was hitting open shots early and was really nowhere to be found late in that game. But in Game 2, only had 29 points. But those were some big points when the team needed it most. To me, that's something new from Steph in the finals. I think we're going to see more of it. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.